was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
In your time, your style, your flavor, your voice, that was yours.
Organic,
and,
yes.
Yeah, anybody that bit or mimicked you was seen as a fraud.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
With AI, they have the ability to take your whole aura, demeanor, voice,
yes,
and reproduce that for the masses. Give me your opinion on that.
I'm still trying to figure out AI, but I have seen some things that have made me raise an eyebrow. The Drake diss with the Tupac and Snoop, the fake Kendrick, it's a lot to it. I mean, I think it goes way deeper than that, especially when it comes to IPs for artists that came from my era.
Right.
Because, you know, honestly, I've never gotten a streaming check for any of my music.
Really?
I've never gotten a streaming check for any of my music. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure it all out because there may be someone who can make a perfect mix of the two where I'm not saying to accept it, but at least make art out of it. And that's what I'm always for, the creative part, the art of it.
If we talk about your longevity,
Yeah.
there's been hundreds of artists within the hip hop space that have not had the success that you have. What would you attribute that success to?
I think the fact that my crew is still tighter than we ever were. We never broke up. We kept our names out of the majority of the controversies. Even when the East Coast, West Coast thing was going on, we were out there recording in the West Coast and we're still out and about and people saw us, but it never really affected us. I think the fact that Wu-Tang is still here is a testament to the work ethic that we had, the fact that it was something no one's ever seen before. And Staten Island, for real. I've seen murals on Instagram of me in Brazil, just me. So that's when you know, man. I mean, some people get geeked off of having their name in the back of the TV Guide crossword puzzle. Remember those?
Bang.
Straight from
bang,
the desk of Mr. M.E.T.H.O.D. Man, M.E.T.H.O.D. Man, Method Man himself, saying he has never received a check from streaming royalties. That's crazy. A legend. This going along with what Warren G already said. He doesn't receive anything, and when he does receive a check from streaming royalties, it's for like 25 cents from Death Row. That's crazy. This going along with Method Man, what Crunchy Black is saying about DJ Paul owing him money, and what we talk about around here, right? Because a lot of artists rock with the page, and we use these moments from our OGs and our legends to learn from for going forward. So yeah, Method Man is all good. He has a successful acting career, still dope on the microphone. He's good, he ain't hurting, and he has properties that he's bought, he's invested in. He spoke about that. But nevertheless, we know they playing Wu-Tang's music. Why is Method Man not being compensated? I bet you go check the Spotify plays and all of this, Apple Music. They playing Wu-Tang every day, everywhere, right? It's classic music. But yeah, so I started digging and wondering about Wu-Tang's situation with the streaming platforms and how's everybody been feeling lately. And I came across this from 2022, right? Old Dirty Bastard's wife, his widow rather, files a $1 million lawsuit against Wu-Tang Clan Productions over unpaid royalties. Iceling Jones claims the company breached an agreement made in 1992. Right? The widow of Old Dirty Bastard has taken legal action against Wu-Tang Clan Productions over an alleged breach of contract. According to the suit filed by Iceling Jones, ODB, whose real name is Russell Jones, signed an agreement in 1992 that promised him and fellow band members, all of the Wu-Tang, man, I'm not about to read all those names, y'all know them, Ghostface, Jizza, Raekwon, and whatnot, 50% of the royalties on the publishing of their music, as well as earnings from Wu-Tang merch and other uses of their name. Now, for the youngers who don't know, Wu-Tang merch was a big, big thing in the 90s. People were wearing it in Memphis. If people were wearing it in Memphis, you can imagine what was going on in New York, in LA, and Miami, because we were slow to get things, right? The South got it last out of everybody. So they were popping with the clothing line in the 90s. So yeah, there's a lot of money that was made from that. While ODB's estate received a $130,000 payment, that RZA cut that check in July 2021, and some other deposits from Warner Tamerlane Publishing Corp in 2019-2020, Jones alleges that the money represents only a small percentage of amounts payable to the estate under the recording agreement. So yeah, this was in 2022. And I don't know how it got settled, but yeah, this is just something to look at. You don't ever know where the game's headed. But one thing that won't change is paperwork, contracts, agreements. That won't change. So get that now. I don't care if it goes to streaming platforms. It may go back to tapes and 8-tracks, but the paperwork's still gonna be good. So get that. That's one thing that won't change. And this was 15 years ago. In 2009, Ghostface wanted to get his share of the group's royalties, as he felt like RZA didn't deserve 50% of the royalties. And I don't know if it was just because of what was going on at the time, but RZA was trying to explain that in rap music, the producer automatically gets 50% of the royalties. As y'all can see right here, RZA argues that he deserves 50% share, as that is the rules that I was taught. 50% to the producer and 50% to the writer. That's it, right? That's the song. Nobody cares about the performer. You can perform the song all day. If you didn't write it and you didn't produce it, you don't own a share of that song. That's always been the rules, unless something else is worked out on the contract. And that's the case that RZA was saying in this, right? So I think they worked this out. This was old. I don't know. There wasn't an update on either situation. I also know about Ghostface Killah being a little upset about RZA doing his part on the sitcom, the Wu-Tang Clan sitcom, and not contacting Ghostface to consult with him about his part. And I read that. That's the last I heard of everything. But yeah, I'm gonna use this as a lesson, another lesson. Get your paperwork right. And no matter how good you are, how cool y'all are, in our culture, rap groups start out as a group of friends or family members almost, most of the time. Then you become a rap group, and then you become a business group, right? But we gotta catch it ahead of time. When y'all start rapping and y'all get to y'all group, y'all come to my page, check out these old clips, sit down as a group. And this goes for managers and rappers as well, too. Get that paperwork, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a little contract and a little paperwork, especially if you ain't gonna do nothing wrong anyway. You ain't got nothing to worry about, right? So let's just get that right and add this part to our culture. Contracts, paperwork, agreements. So it won't bite us in the ass 5, 10, 15, 20 years later when we need that money